So, Wizards of the Coast released the first materials for One DnD, and the reaction has been... yeah, that. And I feel like some people, not necessarily you, some people, not necessarily you, but some people have overreacted a little bit to this situation. Now, hold on before you go writing in the comments or closing the video. I have some points to make, because this is just the first step into One DnD that we are seeing now. So One DnD, the next version, because they don't want to call it the edition, so the next version of Dungeons & Dragons, first rules got released last week, and these were the rules for the backgrounds of the character, and they also touched on some other rules like critical hits and stuff. Some people are saying, I'm not going to play One DnD, I will stick with the 5th edition forever, and for those people I say, hold your horses, because, as I said, this is just the first steps that we're seeing into this new version of Dungeons & Dragons, because we don't know what else is planned beyond the scope of the backgrounds that we have seen now. And even what we have seen is playtest material. It's not final material. It is material that will change, has not been balanced, and basically your feedback, our feedback, is going to shape. I'm gonna make a video, by the way, later when the feedback form comes out on how you should formulate your feedback. So if you want to see that, hit that subscription button down there and you'll get that video in a week or so. So yes, we've only seen a small sliver of the rules, 20 pages out of hundreds of pages possibly of rules, which is not to say that constructive criticism isn't important. Definitely is. I'm not saying we shouldn't criticize One DnD and the rules we have seen so far. We definitely should. We should give Wizards constructive, proper criticism of why we don't like these things and what's not working for us. But that doesn't mean we jump the gun saying, this is terrible, they're going to ruin the game, everything's gonna be terrible, they're gonna ruin... Like, we don't need to go there, okay? We don't need to go there. But also, we don't need to say whenever anyone is giving constructive criticism, we don't need to say, you don't need to use that rule at your table. Like, that's also a bit of a cop-out. I mean, sometimes it is, you know, valid if it's a smaller rule or not that big of a deal, but if people are like, well, I don't like X, Y, Z, and so on, and you're like, well, just don't use them, and it's like, we need to be careful when we use that, okay? You just need to be careful, okay? I went through the background stuff on my stream on twitch.tv/funwithfondo. If you want to come hang out with me and my community and talk about D&D stuff, then, you know, link is in the description. But I went through the background stuff on stream, and to me, it's interesting. They're making some changes. I don't think they're going to be fundamentally changing 5th edition, because they want all of this to be backwards compatible with 5th edition, so they can't make too drastic of changes. How drastic is it going to be? Hard to say still, because we've only seen the background stuff, which includes races and backgrounds and some feats and the small spell list. So we've seen a very small part, like classes. We'll see how much they change. But overall, I think there's some interesting things there. I think they are trying to buff levels 1 to 3, because now you get a feat at first level. We don't know how classes are going to start, but currently in 5th edition, the big problem is that levels 1, 2, and to some degree 3 are really dangerous levels. Arguably the most dangerous the game is ever going to be for you, because at first level, you don't have a lot of hit points. Worst case scenario, you have 6 hit points. If you're a wizard and you have 10 constitution, you have 6 hit points. That's it. So, you know, an errant goblin critical hit might just kill you. Worst case scenario, it will instantly kill you. If the DM happens to roll really, really well, oh, your character just instantly died because it went twice over your max hit point. Oops, now you're dead. And that's not a fun experience, you know? And then on the other hand, classes currently don't get a lot of their features until 3rd level, when they start getting really interesting. So we don't know the class stuff yet, they haven't released it, but if they start to bring those class features earlier and start to make levels 1, 2, and 3 more survivable, I think that's going to be a big benefit overall. Because let's be real, a lot of people, when they start playing a new campaign, they're like, let's skip level 1 and 2, because at 3 you get your subclass in most of the classes and it starts getting interesting. From my understanding also, Wizards has surveyed this and they have found that, you know, most people don't go beyond like level 10, 11, so that's why most of the adventures are like levels 1 to 11, 12 or something like that. It makes that better, you know? It makes that experience for people better, those first 2 levels. So that's, I think, interesting. And, you know, also the fact that the DM can't critical hit anymore could partially play into that. What's your thought on the whole critical hit thing, by the way? I don't have strong feelings about it personally. If the DM can't critical hit, I'm like, I don't mind. But what's your thought? Let me know in the comments. I just wanted to make this video to kind of tell people to cool it, or as we in Finnish say, put some ice in your hat. Because I work in the games industry, I'm used to seeing things that are work in progress, that are a first or second draft at something that is supposed to be put out there so that you get feedback and then you make changes to it and you add stuff and you remove stuff. To me, this feels like a normal process of that. Like, that's what this feels like. This is a normal playtest process, because this is playtesting. They're putting it out there. It's not ready. They say so themselves. They're going to take the feedback. They're going to change things. They're going to add things. They're going to remove things. And to me, this is a normal process. So when I saw this, I was like, oh, okay, this is weird. That seems cool. But I didn't really freak out, you know? So I would just say, you know, cool it. This is a normal part of playtesting. There's like 2 years time, because it's coming out in 2024, and I guess it's going to come out the end of 2024, maybe? I don't know. We'll see. So like about 2 years time for them to fiddle stuff. So, you know, take it easy. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it yet, I should say. Of course, if, you know, they release more and more stuff and it's looking concerning, and then, you know, it's like half a year until launch and, you know, we're still like, oh, not looking great, then of course, yeah, it's sure. But, you know, give it some time. There's still 2 years. And hey, in the end, if you're like, I don't like One DnD, they changed these and these things, I don't think that's great, or I don't like this system, fine. You can stick with 5th edition. There's so much material for 5th edition currently. There is a boatload of official material that Wizards has made, and then a bunch of third-party material through Kickstarters and different publishing houses and all manner of stuff. There's so much stuff for 5th edition, and there's so many players of 5th edition that you will have no problem playing 5th edition for years to come. But we'll see. We'll see in a few years, you know, what's what, and as these playtests come out, we'll also see a little bit more and a lot more on how this whole thing is going to shape out, okay? Cool. Let me know what you thought about all of this One DnD stuff in the comments below, and if you enjoyed the video, subscribe and hit the like button down there. And as I said, I stream every Monday and Wednesday on twitch.tv/funwithfondue. It's all together, twitch.tv/funwithfondue. Follow me there as well. There should be another video of mine on screen right now. You should go check that out. It's a good one. And hey, I hope you have some good dice rolling and that you keep it dice and easy. I'll see you then. Bye!